pawned by myth, betrayed by power. The crisis of Amharic-speaking Ethiopia. In the highlands of Ethiopia, a people once convinced they were the heart of an empire now find themselves at the margins of reality, bloodied by conflict, confused by identity, and betrayed by every regime that claimed to speak for them. The Amharic-speaking zonal areas, once romanticized as the core of Ethiopian civilization, are now fractured, caught between imperial nostalgia, foreign manipulation, and internal disillusionment. 1. The linguistic illusion. Amhara, as a construct, not a homeland, the root of the current chaos is a lie, a fabricated identity that has been weaponized for over a century. Amhara, long assumed to be a coherent ethnic or cultural identity, was never more than an administrative and linguistic label. Amharic was the language of imperial bureaucracy, not a tribal anthem. The people of Goijam, Wollo, Shewa, and Gondar are not ethnically homogeneous, but rather an intricate mosaic of Agu, Kement, Oromo, and others, folded into the myth of Amhara for the sake of power and expansion. And that myth is now devouring its own believers. 2. The Fano paradox. Militants without a mission. Fano militants rose in recent years with genuine anger, courage, and a yearning for dignity. But without a grounded ideological direction, they have become fighters trapped in the past, bearing arms not for liberation, but to protect a decaying myth. Zemene Kassi's calls for resistance are valid in exposing the state's betrayal. He rightly condemns Abiy Ahmed's genocidal policies, the collapse of governance, and the targeted violence against Amharic-speaking civilians. But even as Fano commanders decry injustice, they remain politically stranded, unable to articulate a future that speaks to the self-determination of all oppressed peoples, not just their own. 3. Amharic-speaking zones. Victims of empire, not masters of it. For decades, Amharic-speaking farmers were encouraged by imperial regimes to migrate south, pushed by land shortages and climate challenges in the highlands. They were told they were civilizing new frontiers. In truth, they were being weaponized, their movement used to expand state control, often sparking ethnic resentment and future conflict. Now, those very farmers are stateless in their own land. Over 7 million people face violence. Health systems have collapsed. Over 4 million children are out of school. Their leaders have failed them. Their identity has been hijacked. And still, the myth continues. 4. Enter Eritrea, the foreign puppeteer. While some in the Fano camp celebrate Eritrea's logistical support, they forget history and reality. Eritrea is not a liberator. It is a regional destabilizer, known for exploiting vacuum spaces to expand influence. It fought the TPLF not out of principle, but out of vendetta. Its support to Fano is not love, it is leverage. Eritrea opposes Oromo self-determination. It fears democratic states. It thrives on Empire Ethiopia's chaos. And if Fano continues to be a proxy for Eritrea, they will not only betray other oppressed nations, they will become prisoners in someone else's chess game. 5. Why Fano can't unite. The myth is cracking. The inability of Fano groups to form a unified front is not a mystery, it is a symptom of deeper contradictions. Some fight for Amhara identity, which was never a tribal truth to begin with. Others seek regional autonomy, but cling to imperial Ethiopianism. Still others want revenge, not revolution. The result? Fragmentation. Warlordism. Endless funerals. Zero strategy. 6. A way forward. Truth, then alliance. If Fano fighters truly want to free their people, they must do more than oppose the Prosperity Party. They must oppose the myth that entrapped them. That means acknowledging that Amhara was imposed, not inherited. Respecting the Kement, Agu, Oromo, and others who live in Amharic-speaking zones. Building alliances based not on revenge, but on shared self-determination with Oromia, Tigray, Sidama, and others. Rejecting Eritrean manipulation and reviving a pluralistic liberation vision. Otherwise, the Amharic-speaking zones will continue to be used, abused, and discarded by foreign powers, by corrupt elites, and by the very myths that built this empire in the first place. 7. Final verdict. Either wake up, or disappear into the myth you defend. This isn't just about Amhara. It's about ending Ethiopia's curse, The cycle of conquest disguised as unity, identity invented by empire, and foreign agents using local anger to fuel their ambitions. The next generation doesn't need another war waged for yesterday's illusions. They need land to farm, a name to call their own, a flag they chose themselves, a voice that speaks their truth, not one inherited from palace chronicles. Will the Fano movement transform, or implode? Will the Amharic-speaking zones decolonize their identity, or die defending a flag that never defended them? History is watching. And this time, the myth will not save them. And remember, if you're still marching for an empire that forgot your village's name, it might be time to update your mission, and maybe your map too. Subscribe, share, and liberate a friend from imperial nostalgia today, because fighting for a fake identity is like bringing a fork to a soup fight. Click the bell icon, before Eritrea does it for you.